Welcome to my channel. I'm Diana Clark. I'm an interior decorator in San Diego, California. Well, guys, today I am so excited because I'm going to talk about a subject that honestly is so near and dear to my heart, and that is finding what a lot of people might think is trash and turning it into treasure. I break for garage sales, estate sales, flea markets, consignment stores, junk piles, antiques, malls, you name it. I see potential everywhere. And the reason that I want to share this with you is I'm hoping to inspire your creativity and maybe make you want to go out and do what I do, which is find trash and turn it into treasure. So let's jump in and I'll show you some examples of things that I've found for myself or for my clients. Enjoy and sit back and grab some popcorn and let's have fun. When a client of mine needed a place to store all of her scarves, I happened to come across these wonderful display racks from a little boutique that was closing and selling all of their fixtures. They needed a fresh coat of black paint, which was really easy to do, and then they were ready to go. As far as I'm concerned, it's always kind of a sad thing when a shop is going out of business and being forced to sell all of their fixtures. But the silver lining for you could be that it's a great way to find some interesting pieces that you can use in your own home. Often the smaller one-of-a-kind boutiques are the ones that will have the cutest, most interesting and creative fixtures, so those are my go-to choice always. I discovered this fantastic vintage copper candy kettle when I was shopping a client's home. It was in the side yard and it was filled with decaying leaves and miscellaneous crap. Well, you can see what we did with it, and it's got a fantastic new life. I honestly think that one of the best thrifting experiences you can have is to shop your very own home and see what you might already own and think about how you can upcycle it, use it in a new way. It's a lot of fun, and who knows what cool things could happen. Meet Joe Camel. When I met him in a consignment store, it was love at first sight. I was looking for a large, whimsical statement piece that was a mid-century thing for a mid-century home, and in my eyes, he was the perfect statement that I was looking for. Well, the dealer only wanted $300, probably because he knew that nobody else on the planet would want to buy a huge leather-covered camel. So the only hard part of the deal was figuring out how to stuff Joe in the back of my client's SUV to get him home. If you're looking to introduce a note of whimsy and humor to your own home, which is something I always recommend, I think a great place to look is in thrift and consignment stores. Let's face it, these are the places that have the cast-offs that people have gotten rid of, and lots of people will get rid of whimsical things because they don't suit their taste, but they could suit yours just perfectly. Do you know that old saying, cash is king? Well, when you're thrifting, that can really be true. And this is a perfect example. This antique Georgian chest was for sale in a consignment store marked at $500. I offered $300 in cash and we settled on $350. My best advice is always carry some cash with you when you're going out thrifting. I usually take between $50 and $500. And I always make sure to have some 5s, 10s, and 20s because dealers will sometimes tell me, oh, I can't make change. And if I can make exact change, I can usually get a better price. So be prepared. I bought this little love seat on Craigslist 18 years ago. In fact, it was the very first piece of furniture that I bought for my tiny condo, and I bought it primarily because it was tiny. Well, I loved the lines of it and it was very sturdy, but I truly hated the upholstery, which I thought was pretty drab and uninteresting. So I took it to my upholsterer and I had it recovered in this fantastic Sunbrella Fabric. And here's a decorator's tip for you. I love Sunbrella. It was originally invented for outdoor furniture so that it wouldn't fade in the sun, but since then they've developed so many new colors and patterns and different types of sunbrella. It's super sturdy, it's super easy to keep clean. If you have pets or kids, you can't go wrong with sunbrella. So now whenever I'm looking to upholster a piece, the first place I look is for a Sunbrella Fabric. This absolutely gorgeous leaded glass window was actually the front door of a farmhouse in Illinois. My mom and I were out thrifting in 1972 and we spotted this, and my mom asked the farmer what he would take for it if he was willing to sell it. Well, he said that a new front door from Sears would cost him 25 bucks, so my mom peeled out 25 bucks and gave it to him, and he took it off the hinges and put it in the back of our car, and away we went. Well, I guess the lesson I learned that day from my mom is, don't ever be afraid to ask. What could be one man's trash, in this case the farmer said he hated that front door because the wood was rotting and it leaked, could definitely be my treasure. Earlier when I listed places that I love to go thrifting, I neglected to mention one of the most fun places of all, which is back alleys. Part of what makes this fun is the thrill of discovery, but the other part is everything that people put out in their alleys you can get for free. Well, that's exactly how I got this little chair, and when we found it, it was brown wood with peeling varnish and in very bad shape. So took it home, sanded it, and then actually painted it with leftover nail polish colors. I think the result is a super cute little piece of whimsy, maybe even an art piece. So I would encourage you, if your communities have back alleys where people put things out, go cruise them. Who knows what you could find? I was scouring an enormous flea market in Long Beach, California, looking for mid-century patio furniture for a client, when I came across this absolutely wonderful wire chair. Well, unfortunately, it had about 60 years worth of rust and deterioration going on. So of course I used that to my advantage and negotiated a better price and took the chair home. And then I took it to my powder coating place and I picked out a wonderful mid-century color, bright orange, and had the chair powder coated. And now it just looks like new. I would suggest that you never be discouraged by rusted metal because powder coating is very affordable and it can spruce up just anything as long as it's metal. This adorable little zebra painted chest was a garage sale find. The seller was asking $5 for it, but it had a whole lot of things wrong with it. One of the doors was hanging by one hinge and one of the doorknobs was missing entirely, and the paint was chipped and flawed in certain places. So we pointed out all the defects to the seller as a way to negotiate a better price of $2. And then we took it home and repaired everything, which was very easy to do. So my advice to you is, when you love a piece and you know that you can fix it for not very much money, just go ahead and point out the defects when you're negotiating, and you can often get a lower price when you do that. This mosaic coffee table is absolutely one of my all-time favorite pieces of furniture. I fell in love with it in a high-end consignment gallery up in the Pasadena area, and the dealer there told me that they were asking $900 for the entire thing, and he also told me that it was made by a very famous Mexican artist in the 1960s or 70s. So armed with that information, I went out into the parking lot and I used my smartphone to Google the name of that Mexican artist, and I turned up several photographs of his work with some price tags attached. One thing that I learned from that research was that even though they were selling 3 tables, when it was originally made by the artist, it was a hexagon with 6 pieces. With some further Googling, I found a rectangular table that was about the same size as one of the triangles, and the price tag on that was between $700 and $900 as the estimated price. So armed with that information, I went back in and offered to pay $800, and they accepted that price. If you're thinking about buying something that's expensive, my best advice is don't be shy about moving away from the salespeople and pulling out your phone and doing a little bit of research. You want to make sure that you're not paying too much for whatever it is that you're falling in love with. I have a bonus decorating tip for you. These tables separate into 3 separate ones, so I can use them as seating or as cocktail tables when I have a big crowd coming over. If you live in a small home and you can acquire furniture that does more than one thing, that is a terrific benefit. Thanks for going on this little walk down memory lane with me. If you had even half as much fun as I did, then you had a whole lot of fun. And I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up. And I would love to hear your comments down in the section below. Maybe tell me what you've salvaged and what you've done with it. That would be a fun discussion for me to have. And now I just want to ask you one last thing. And if you've seen my videos before, you know what it is. Please, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, because I love you.